Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this my worship chronicles. I had a question today. How do you worship God in confidence? This is something that I covered on my blog a while ago, and I believe it will be the perfect one to follow up. Worship is confidence. So how do you worship in confidence? How do you worship God in confidence? Only one answer comes to mind, and it is one that I have come to understand more and more, and it is to know God for yourself. And I want to ask you a question. What experiences have you had so far in the entirety of your life that has made God more real to you? I personally have too many to count, and that is the basis from which I worship God from. Whether I am by myself, whether I am backing somebody up in worship, or whether I am the one leading worship, that is the basis that I come from. The other day, I had to write a mission statement for a new Facebook group, and something that my pastor had said to me years ago kind of came to the surface again after a while. He was introducing me to minister a song in church, and he said, and before I even say what he said, I'd actually been asking God, like, when I lead worship, I wonder how you see me. Like, God, how do you see me when I lead worship? When I come before you and I lead people in worship, how do you see me? And I'd been asking God that, right? And then it came to, okay, when I lead worship, is it making impact? Like, am I showing God to people, or are they just seeing Gladys? And this is a perfect example of how God will answer your question that you ask Him. He'll answer you through people, through other people. And anyway, as he introduced me, he said that when I minister, that I introduce the God behind the song. That touched me so much because that was what I wanted. Whenever I led worship, that's what I wanted. I wanted people to not see me. I wanted them to see God. I wanted them to hear God. I wanted them to feel God. So when he said that, there was just this boost of confidence from that day that yes, if they connect to God when I sing, that's all that matters. And because I was hearing that, from that day, I started to experience God in such a way that I am bold to declare His goodness because I have tasted of it. I am not afraid. I am not ashamed. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable before Him. I'm not afraid to go down on my knees. I'm not afraid to roll on the floor. I'm not afraid to shout, to scream if I have to. And lastly, I am not afraid to lead worship even when I'm going through. You know why? Because He got me out of jams before. He got me out of situations before. And He certainly can do it now. And just because I feel like I'm going through, it may be because I am feeling something that somebody in the congregation is feeling. I have had experiences where I came into service heavy. I came to lead worship heavy. And as I led worship, that heaviness was lifting. And I would get 3 or 4 people come to me after worship to say, oh my God, when you led worship, there was just this heaviness that was lifting off of me. That is confidence, because if I wasn't confident enough to say, okay, I'm going to lead worship through whatever this thing is, this heaviness is, and I know God is going to lift it as I come into His presence. Confidence in worship will make you not cave to not feeling okay. You don't have to feel okay to go to worship God. You don't have to feel okay to lift your hands up in worship. But if you do it while feeling heavy, that heaviness will lift. I'm going to end this one by saying that the place of worship, and I say this from experience, the place of worship is a place of trade, a place where we trade our sorrows for God's joy and our weakness for His strength. I am more than persuaded that you cannot stand before God and be put to shame. You cannot come before God in heaviness and leave heavy. You cannot. But it's a choice. See, when you come into His presence, He's exchanging the things that are troubling you for His peace. But you have to be ready to accept those things that He's offering you. And that's where confidence starts.